welcome to Emotional Cafe. Here's Xiomara Mayo Ingram, like every week, with our topic today, our connections. And you might be wondering why I chose this topic. And let me tell you that this is something that I have been struggling myself. And by bringing and sharing my struggle with you, I think it might be a great help. It is just amazing how we're living in such a technological world nowadays, and yet it is probably the time that we are most disconnected from each other. And I've been struggling, as I tell you, myself with that, with my kids and with people, and I want to be able to make some changes in my life, and I wanted to share with you. And maybe, who knows, you might find yourself relating to this topic and finding yourself making adjustments in order to improve your connections. And the word connection, what it means, really means that some sort of liaison between two things or two people. It means a union, it means a relationship. But psychologically, it means the level of profoundness between two people interacting with each other, between two people within a relationship. And that's the kind of connection that I want to talk about today, because we are all human beings that need other people, and that's totally fine, that's totally normal. We need others to support us, we need others to give us their help and their unconditional love and assistance in order for us to be better and to continue growing. But at the same time, we need to give away. We need to be there for some other people. We need to be able to support them. We need to feel that we are important to them and that we are providing them with the help that they need. So it's a two-way street. It's not something that happens only to our benefit, but by giving it to others, we're also benefiting ourselves from it. So it's a two-way street in which we get from others and others get from us, and we need that. That is important for us as human beings. But amazingly, and as I was saying before, we are so disconnected more than ever from each other. Every day you watch the news and you hear different things happening, and you go like, oh my gosh, what's going on with the people? But it's not with the people. What's going on with me? What's going on within my house? What's going on within my family system? What's going on? How come that I pay more attention to the social media or to my cell phone or to the TV than what I actually need to be paying attention? Years ago, family used to be the center of everything. Not anymore. You want to know what our main objects of affection are today? I have a little list put together for you. Our cell phones, our tablets, our computers, our video games, our social media, and by social media I mean Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and all kinds of different apps and stuff that exist that I cannot even start naming them because I don't even know half of them, not even a quarter probably, but anyway. And the television, TV, it's just amazing how all these things, our lives spin around all these different things, and we are losing that human connection. And it's kind of scary. I was just thinking, as I was putting this topic together and I was putting this presentation for you, I was thinking about some practices and habits that we have forgotten, that we have dropped along the way, things that we no longer get to do. And you're going to be amazed by this, but listen to this. The first one is eye contact. We hardly look at anybody in the eye. We don't make eye contact. We go out in the street and we don't make eye contact. Someone says something to us, we don't make eye contact. We go to the stores, we don't make eye contact. It's just amazing. Even sometimes people are talking to you, or a friend is telling you something and you're browsing through the internet and you, oh yeah, and then you keep going. Your kids are talking to you and you don't make eye contact. And again, I'm not saying this in a judgmental way. I'm talking about myself. This is me. We are losing these things that used to be very important for us to maintain our connection with others, and somehow we have lost them along the way. Another one, spontaneously greeting people. saying, waving goodbye, saying hi, saying good morning. Some people even look at you disgusted by the fact that you greet them, by the fact that you say hello or good morning or good evening. They are shocked. They don't like it because they're not used to it anymore. Smiling. People don't smile anymore. I have tried to be happy about everything, to keep a positive attitude, and I have been practicing smiling myself, because for a long time I didn't smile, and I like smiling, and it's just shocking to some people. They just don't get it. Some people have asked me what I'm smiling at. What is it that I'm so happy about? They just don't get it. And it's just funny because it's shocking, but it's something so good and it does me so well, but yet people don't connect with that anymore. What about talking in person? People don't talk to you in person anymore. They prefer to send you a text by WhatsApp, by Messenger, on Facebook. They just don't talk personally. What about sharing with other people? We don't share with the family. We don't share with others. What about being authentic? We're losing our authenticity. We are turning into this product, in a massive product that look like a catalog or look like taken out of TV, because we want to look like the person in Facebook or like this person on the commercial. It's just amazing. We no longer know what we really want because we follow whatever trend we see. And what about feeling sensitive, feeling some sort of empathy for what happens to others? It's just amazing how we have this attitude of, oh, that's so bad, but it didn't happen to me, it didn't happen here, so, so be it. And that's the attitude of indifference that we get to have sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean that you have to stop your whole life for something that happened very far away from here, but just the fact that it is as if we don't care. That's what really gets me, and that's where I've been trying to question myself. Why? Where do we get this attitude from? And it has to do with the way that we're living and the way that we have disconnected from each other. Now, I always bring a question to reflect on, and I want to share it with you. Where do we think we are heading towards to? Where do we think we're going as a civilization if we continue with this huge disconnection that we are having nowadays? How are we supposed to make our relationships work? How are we supposed to have our love relationship, our family, and every single relationship that matters to us? How are we going to make it work if we don't invest in connecting with the people involved? Now, this is the part that you might say, Xiomara, you're talking about connection. Who do I need to connect with? What do I need to connect with? Well, let me tell you. And I'm going to speak on my behalf. I'm going to speak about myself. The first person that I need to connect with is myself. I need to be connected with my inner side. I need to be connected with me and who I am and the things that are important to me. I need to keep this on my skin that I can actually feel it. Because if not, I end up being a result of whatever influence comes to my life, if I don't keep myself grounded with being connected to myself. I have to connect with my inner circle, with my closest family members, with my maybe the spouse, your life partner, maybe your family, maybe people that you are living with. These are people that you need to connect with, and that these connections are important to you. So you need to actually be aware that the connection needs to happen in order for these relationships to work. We need to connect with our friends. Oh, but Xiomara, I'm connected with 2,000 friends in Facebook. No, that's not what I mean. You need to connect with your friends, with your support system. We all need to have those close friends that we need to be there for us. People that are part of our lives, people that we celebrate with, people that we that are there for the good and the bad things that happen in our life, but we also need to be there for them. It's not only about us. We need to connect with society, with our community, with our neighborhood, with the place that we live in, We're part of that, and we need to be aware of it. And finally, we need to connect with the environment. The environment, the world, is our home. And if we don't preserve it, if we don't respect it, it's just amazing to see people rolling down their windows and throwing garbage in the street as if it's, nothing, no big deal. That only reflects how disconnected we are. We need to preserve, take care, and respect the environment, because that's the world we live in. So I brought some simple recommendations for you about things that you can do to nurture your connections. And let me tell you this. This is what I'm trying to do myself. Maybe in a couple of months we need to put another session together so I can tell you how it went. But this is what I am trying to practice myself. This is what I'm trying to implement with my loved ones in order to make our relationships richer and better, in order to connect. And my first one is to set time aside to share, to interact, to talk. No interruptions, no phones, no television, nothing. To share, to simply be there with one another and share. Talk about our day, talk about what we do, talk about things we like, talk about things that has happened that we don't like. Simply time to share. Another thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set a day once a week to be our family night. That night we do something together. We cook together, or we watch a movie together, or we play some board games. But that is our family night. And what I'm trying to do with this is to have the little ones be able to give their ideas of things that you can do together, and have that specific day that's our day. And and again, I'm just starting off with this, so again, maybe in a couple of months you can ask me, Xiomara, how did it go? But I tell you this, I'm very hopeful about this, because I'm really into reconnecting again. So this is something that I'm trying, and these are my recommendations for you to give it a try. To interact, putting everything aside in order to pay attention. I share with you one day that my 13-year-old was asking me for permission to do something, and I gave him the permission without even realizing I was giving him the permission. Why? Because he was talking to me and I was saying, but I was doing something else. I was not paying attention, so I said yes, that he could go do that. It was a permission that I wouldn't have given him, but I did. Why? Because I was not paying attention. So we need to practice interacting, paying attention, putting all our senses to whatever this person is telling me, and ask questions, and really listen to what they are saying, what they are informing. Another one is to set positive rules to be played. Sometimes when you're having teenagers, when you're having kids, and you're trying to do this, they have a bad attitude, because they have to stop with the video game, or they have to stop doing that in order to come and do this, and they might come with a negative attitude. So by setting positive rules, that means no criticism, no judging, no negative comments, and then they have to pretty much deal with that inside and come with a different attitude. And usually it kind of flows away, that once we start doing things together, it feels way better. Sometimes we're like, oh, we don't want to do that, but then we do it and then we like it. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to teach my young son, that sometimes he doesn't want to do something, and yet when we do it together, he just loves it. So that's kind of pushing him to give himself a chance to enjoy it and explore and see how he feels about it. And finally, set time aside to be with myself. It's just amazing how we don't realize how important it is, that time that we take and invest in ourselves, to read something that nurtures our soul, to read something that makes us feel better, to reach deep inside and see what's going on, what's bothering me, what's making me feel upset, why do I feel a little sad, why do I feel grumpy today, and just look at ourselves and learn to know ourselves. But that can only come from a point in which we are truly connected with ourselves. Now, you know that July has been the month of challenges. And I want to end up this session with a challenge for you, which is the same challenge that I've been asking myself and that I'm challenging myself every day. How committed are you to improve your connections, to nurture those relationships and be more connected? What are you willing to do in order to be more connected with yourself and others? Again, these are the questions that I'm asking myself every day, and these are the questions that I'm struggling and that I'm trying hard to make a difference, because I really think by making a difference in my life, I'm going to be making a difference in the world. It all starts within me. And I'm the person that needs to start making the changes instead of expecting someone else to change. My dear friends, I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope to see you next week with our final session of the month with another interesting topic for you. And again, invite your friends and your loved ones to follow us and to see the other videos that we have for you. You can follow us on YouTube, you can follow us on Facebook, and visit our webpage if you haven't, so you can have a taste of Emotional Cafe. See you next week.